got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
What's up, fishy friends? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. I am excited today because we're going to take a look at the newest slip joint knife from Jack Wolf Knives. This is from Ben's new Gateway series, which is designed to be more budget friendly. So not that long ago, they released the Gateway Barlow. This is the equal end Jack from the Gateway series. I'm excited to show it to you. So without further ado, let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look.
Hey man, do me a favor and go ahead and hit that like button. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. It sure does help the channel. We sure do appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, man.
All right, so the Jack Wolf Knives equal end Jack from the Gateway series. So there's really two primary reasons why he can offer these knives at a more budget price. Number one, the first thing you're going to notice is packaging. So you don't get the can or the tube that the normal Jack Wolf knives come in, which also comes with a sticker, cleaning cloth, all that kind of stuff. We've got more budget-friendly packaging here. And then, of course, steel. We've got more budget-friendly steels on this series right here. But otherwise, fit and finish, everything else is the exact same quality that you expect from a Jack Wolf knife. We've got the old Jack Wolf at the gateway inviting you in. So pretty cool. And that is a sleeve that sits over top of a two-piece box. We've got the Jack Wolf Knives logo there. When you open the box, we've got a nice foam liner there. And there's your knife. So let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, so our overall length on this one is 6.5 inches. We've got a 2 3/4 inch blade, 3 3/4 inch handle on this one. Our blade here is a flat ground spear point blade with a satin finish and a long pull, and we've got a little bit of forward swedging there up at the tip. On the show side tang, we've got the Jack Wolf etch. On the pile side, we've got our blade steel, which is 14C 28N. We've got stainless steel bolsters on this one and a stainless steel cap. We've got a brushed satin finish on those bolsters, which is absolutely gorgeous. Nickel silver pins on this one. And we've got a stainless steel banner style shield. We've got red smooth bone covers on this. And that bone is absolutely gorgeous. I love the depth of color on that bone. We've got stainless steel back springs and stainless steel liners on this one. Fit and finish is exceptional. We've got a perfectly squared off spring termination and our blade is dead nut centered there. So of course, fit and finish is excellent. Now he offered this one in a few different cover materials. I think abalone was the first one to sell out. Now, I'm not a huge fan of abalone. I like the look of it, but the problem I have with abalone is it's not one single piece on the cover. And a lot of times you can see a seam where they splice the pieces of abalone together to make the cover. And sometimes it just doesn't look great. Not always, but I typically steer away from abalone for that reason. They also had it in ebony wood, and it was a toss-up between this one or the ebony wood, but I have a lot of things in ebony wood, and I really like the look of this one. They also had an ivory paper micarta, which was kind of a light yellow. That one was really cool, but yellow, as traditional as it is, as old school as it is, it's just not really my thing. And then they had some camo carbon, which had a more modern look to it. And then over there at Traditional Pocket Knives, they had a purple G10 exclusive but this was the one for me. I had to have the red bone. Still gave me that old school vibe, but I love bone. I love smooth bone, so I had to have this one. Our long pull there is easy to get to. It's deep enough to get your fingernail in, but you can pinch pull this as well. Pull on that is about a 6. At the fully open position, our back spring is nice and flush with no stepping or gapping. Good snap to the fully open position. Perfectly flush at the fully open position with no stepping and no gapping whatsoever. Really smooth walk. Good loud chatty talk. Now I have heard some people say that from the half stop to the open position, it's a little stiffer. And there were a couple people that said maybe even a little gritty. Now, I will say that initially it was a little stiffer going to the fully open position on mine, but I just worked it 10 or 20 times, just back and forth, and that was completely gone. And then I put a drop of oil in there and it loosened up nice. Mine was never gritty. There was never any grit in the walk. It was always buttery smooth, but it was a little bit stiffer. But I will tell you, it does loosen up. And if you just go ahead and work it as soon as you get it and maybe put a drop of oil in it, I put like 2 drops of oil in the joint and boom, perfect. Now I use this. I use Wolf Premium Oil. And I tell you what, guys, I picked that up at Blade Show and it works better than anything I have ever tried. I use it on all the pivots. I use it to coat the blades of my carbon steel knives. I have used CLP. I have used mineral oil. I have used KPL. I've tried all kind of different stuff, and that Wolf oil is better than anything. 2 drops of Wolf oil in there, and that was perfect. That's also not uncommon with a slip joint knife. It's not uncommon for there to be a little bit of finishing dust, maybe a little oil down in the pivot or something. And if you just work it for a minute or 2, it's going to be just fine. I don't say that to say I had any problems with it. I just say that because a couple people did say that the action from the half stop to the fully open position was a little stiff. And I tell you, just give it a little love for 5 or 10 minutes and it's going to be just fine. So the equal end, an old pattern, I absolutely love it. This is a really common frame that you see on Boy Scout knives, Scout knives, camp knives, cattle knives. Now, a lot of people have said that they call this a cigar pattern. Now, for me, this is not a cigar. This is a true equal end. And this is nitpicky. If you call it a cigar, okay, fine. It is kind of a cigar pattern. But for me, what makes a cigar is a slight swell in the center or a taper toward the ends. If it tapers ever so slightly and it's a little more pointy at the ends, then that is what I call a cigar. This, however, is a true equal end. It is parallel all the way down the handle with no tapering, no bulge whatsoever, and then just perfectly rounded at the ends. So I wouldn't call this a cigar. I would call this an equal end. That's just nitpicking. That's just splitting hairs, whatever. That's just me. I prefer to call this an equal end. Some people are going to call it a cigar, whatever. It's an awesome freaking knife. Some people will get a full 4-finger grip on here. It's about a 3.5 finger grip for me. Feels comfortable in a hammer grip, saber grip, reverse grip, gas station stabby grip. Everything is chamfered down nicely. There's no sharp edges, no pokey parts. Fit and finish is outstanding. Super comfortable, old school style working knife. I absolutely love it. Great fit and finish, great walk and talk. Just an awesome knife from Jack Wolf Knives. I'm interested to see what else he's going to put out in this Gateway series because I think people are enjoying it. Not everybody can grab a $300 slip joint. Some people can. Everybody's budget's different. So I think this is a good idea from Ben over there at Jack Wolf, and I'm interested to see what he does next with this series. So there you go, boys and girls. That is the new Jack Wolf Knives Equal End from the Gateway series. I love it. I think it's awesome. Guys, don't forget I've got 3 giveaways up and going right now. I've got the September, October, and the November giveaway because I was late getting them posted. I'm going to leave all 3 of those open for a few more days, and then I'm going to announce a winner, so make sure you go and enter those. I will pin the 2 most recent ones to the end screen. As always, guys, I appreciate you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you were able to pick this one up. I know they sold out pretty fast. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of an equal end or a cigar pattern. Let me know if you have anything from Jack Wolf Knives and what you think of it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Just click my logo right over there. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish. Boys and girls, class dismissed.